Hey guys, so on to the next part of working on the old 12 valve here. As you guys seen in the last video, well, that you didn't see, I guess, I put this front cover on, and no, I guess I didn't. I'll have to show that. Maybe I'll show that in the end of this video. I have one here. It's actually a P-Pump 24 valve that I have, that I can show doing the front seal on, maybe. No, I don't know, we'll see. But what I want to do, I got a bunch of parts painted. I want to get those on just so they're not sitting around and getting shipped. So I did put the front seal on, the front cover on, gear is in. We're going to put the water pump on, maybe the thermostat housing, and I'd like to put the injection pump on, like I said, just to get it out of the way, just so it's not getting bumped into. So anyways, we're going to get after putting this in. Now, something I think I'm going to do on this, just to be, I don't know, a little bit special, is I'm going to change some of the bolts, because I don't know if I'm going to change the bolts or if I'm going to coat them, or I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet. I don't know. I don't like the way that they look painted. So maybe I'll do stainless bolts. I don't know what we're going to do. But either way, I'm going to put these ones in for now and we'll change them later, because this isn't going anywhere for a little while. So something that you want to do too is you want to make sure that, so here where I've painted the block, where the oil pump gasket goes on there, so basically this is the gasket that goes in the water pump. You want to make sure that you clean that, because if you don't clean that paint off and the paint is set, if the paint is still wet, they don't leak, but you want to make sure that you get that paint off, because that paint is set, otherwise it'll leak. So our handy dandy scraper here, link is in the description. Sorry, I screwed up and I didn't put a few of the videos don't have some links in them. I'm gonna actually go around tonight and probably fix all of those. So all you got to do is just scrape that paint off. You don't want to scrape it off too much of it off, because then you end up with the non-painted area poking out again. But I'm trying to keep this in a nice. Painting them, I honestly, that's not my most. It's definitely not my most favorite job. It takes so they look good when they're done, but it takes so much time. So anyways, that's literally there. So that's literally all you have to do, is just get that surface clean. So now I got that in here. Water pump. I'm gonna pull you guys back here a little bit. I'm gonna have to change my light situation up a bit here. I notice can't get the dark engine kind of right where we are. There's lots of light above us, but just the light's not awesome. But anyways, that's something I need to work on. The mechanical side of doing this stuff is super easy for me. The filming part of it is not as easy for me. So, water pump, make sure you put that gasket in there. The weep hole is going to go down. Now, I would usually put Loctite on these bolts, but I know that I'm going to be changing them, so I'm not going to put Loctite on them. I am going to tighten them, but they won't have Loctite on them. So there's the water pump installed. I guess actually I don't have the one bracket cut for the thermostat housing, so we'll have to do that. Because actually the bracket that usually would go in here, what I do, I don't like the look of the lifting hook on them. So what I do is, so the bracket that would usually go in here that has a lifting hook on it, I cut it flush with the top of this, but I don't have it even cleaned. I think it's still sitting in the box over there, so we'll have to clean that and get that set up. Now, so that we got that on there now. What we're going to do is we're going to jump over to putting the injection pump on. So the nuts you're looking for are going to look like this to put the injection pump on. There should be 4 of them, but I can't seem to find the 4th one. Is this here. You already do have one of them, so you just I honestly don't remember if there was 4 of them on there. So let's go back and do it. Or not. But anyways, not that it matters right now. I'll just leave one off, and we'll put it on later. Something that you do want to make sure that you do is, I like putting that line on first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the injection pump in that line, and we'll put the injection pump in. We'll tighten the bolts down, put the bracket on, and maybe we'll do the fuel pump and stuff, and then yeah, we'll go from there. All right, we'll catch you in a bit here. Okay, guys, got the injection pump here. Now you want to oil this O-ring a little bit before you put it in. And make sure the shaft is clean. Oil the O-ring, shaft is clean. And then the line that I was talking about, the oil line down in there, I started on there, just leave it loose. I leave it loose, and then tighten the bottom, and then tighten the top. It's just way easier to start it like that, I think. So sometimes these things will fight you going in, and then sometimes they go right in. So what I do is I get a big long, well, I'll grab it. So this is what I use. It's a swivel, it's a snap-on swivel socket. It doesn't have to be a snap-on one, it's just the one that I have. And you can actually get in there with it to get the bolts in. Get some light here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Where you can get in there to get the bolts. And the same with that one down there. So I will put these on. But this is a 1/4 inch drive. It works really nice for doing this. And if the nut doesn't want to stay on your socket, you can just a trick or a hack, I guess, is just to put a little bit of electrical tape. Little bit of electrical tape on it, and all I do is just get that started. Put this other one on, and I just go in kind of the same idea. I don't know if you guys would be able to, oh yeah. That should help me a little bit. So, just get that, just take your time doing these. But they're not that bad to get in. Now if it's super tight, they can be a bit of a pain to get out. Actually, lots of times if I'm doing this, what I'll do is I'll do it with the head off, because then you can just get in there with a normal old wrench to get in there. But what I do is I'll start them, tighten it just a little bit, and I'm gonna grab a wrench to do this. So if you just take the ratchet and you walk, you can basically just walk it in there. You can shove it in if you really want, but they walk in real easy. So just get everything snugged up. And that's pretty much all there is. Like I said, there is one nut on the bottom that we haven't put on yet. I might have actually even stole the nut out of there for something else. I'm bad for that, doing that. So, but now something too, if you have your return line on here, this is way harder. So I usually leave the return line off, especially if it's a fresh engine. I'll leave it off until I get to that point, because you don't need it in there. So why have it in your way if you don't need it in there? So fuel line, I was talking, fuel line's right there, or the oil line, sorry, the oil line. And then on the bottom side of things, it's real easy to put on. Pretty simple. And then all you got to do, I just shove the line with my hand over, 9/16 wrench. And then when we fire this isn't going to have a power steering pump. I'm going to put a block off plate here, and I'll have to put a cap on that, so it's not going to have anything on. Won't have that on there until we go to install it, which will be a video on installing likely, for the truck that's going into. Well, we'll see. Nah, there'll be a video for sure. So you can just tighten the top one. They said you just want to be shoving on the line a little bit if you can, just so you don't want to get a kink in the line if you can help it, because that turns into a bad day. And they don't need to be crazy tight, so you don't need to like reef on them or anything. So that's the injection pump installed. So I was going to put the bracket on, and I realized I haven't painted it yet. There's a few things. Like I said, I'm not the normal dude that usually paints everything, so. But it's starting to come along. It does look, it looks pretty cool, I think. Especially when we get the valve covers back in that top piece, it'll look really nice. I might even actually spray those ones red just because. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna chop the fuel heater bracket apart. I guess I could show you guys that. I'll show you that in time lapse. Just don't want to make this video too long. We'll put the new pump on there, and then I don't know what. Not sure what we're gonna do with fuel lines and stuff just yet. So we'll see. But we're gonna bolt that on, get it on there, just so there again it's out of my way and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Don't have to worry about losing it. And then yeah, well, this thing's getting pretty close to being done until we get the turbocharger and the exhaust manifold, which I guess we can run without if we want to. But I gotta get this. I gotta build the stand and stuff. So, anyways, I guess we actually can time it. I got the front cover on. I guess I just need to grab a harmonic balancer. The harmonic balancer's not here yet. Yeah, anyways, let's we'll time it tomorrow maybe, and then I'll do a video on just on timing. And then so we'll do the fuel pump next, and we're cutting the bracket down and stuff. We'll get that on there, and then yeah, we'll go from there on that. And like I said, got a few little more. We got some more things to do. This is kind of the what I classify as the nickel and dime stuff, but it's stuff that needs to be done nonetheless. So we'll get after it here, and yeah. All right, guys, got the this is the one that was on this truck. I think, anyways, it was one that was in the pile. So I'm just going to cut this bracket off here with the zip cut. Well, you know what? I gotta get my safety glasses. Gotta get my safety glasses. Okay, got my safety glasses. Whoever sent them in, these are actually nice safety glasses. I appreciate it. Now, this is the piece that you need, is this thickness. What I actually should do is I probably should just have some of these cut, because it would actually be probably faster. Now, you honestly could just leave it just like that. It would make zero difference, other than it's hot to hold on to. You could leave it just like that, and it would make no difference. And like I said, other than it's ugly, it doesn't make any difference. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have to cool this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it a little bit, and then I'll come back after that. Well, here's a trick for you guys. So you get that dab of grease on the end there. Come on. Try not to get a gob of crap. So what I do is I put 2 bolts. I actually pull a couple bolts out of the intake if you're doing this with a fresh one. This is just a longer one, but if you pull 2 of the bolts out of the intake, they're too long for it to actually physically seat for you. But if you take those, they are long enough to get them to start without having to kill yourself to put the pump in. This is a trick that I do not really give away, but for you guys, I will. So what you do is I tighten that one in there. Like I said, you want to make sure that the pump is sitting, is not doing that on you, because that's on the wrong side. Now, something else you should do, and I don't want to do this because I got it at top dead center, but is if you roll it to, so you're at the base of the camshaft, because right now we're on the upper half of the camshaft, so it is a little bit of a pain to do, but it does go in. So if you tighten that in there like that, get it in the right spot. This bolt will bottom out before it goes all the way in. Now, if you take this bolt back out, like I said, this is an easy way to do it. It's a cheater way, I call it. And then you just want to make sure that that gasket didn't move when you pulled the bolt out. Then that way you don't have to kill yourself when you're getting in there to do this. You just snug it down until it's all the way on, right? You don't want to snug it down, just enough so that it's sitting where it's supposed to sit. Pull this bolt back out. Now, like I said, I would use the 2 out of the intake, because, and you'll know by the original sealant. So then you just take your other bolt that's supposed to be in here. You can start it in there with your hand, but that is an easy way, especially when you're doing it on the truck, because you will fight. And then you just, you know, that little bit of silicone that's there, you just wipe it up. It's that easy to get it on there, guys. Not too hard if you know the tricks. And I've cursed and swore at them lots of times, so I know how not to do it. So we got the pump on there. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to call it for tonight. Wasn't super productive today. I had lots of stuff going on at the shop, so I didn't have everything organized the way that I would usually. But we got the water pump on there, we got the injection pump bolted on, we got the bracket cut down and the fuel pump on. And then, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to use for a fuel filter for this thing. I might maybe build one of my fuel filter setups for it or something. I'm not just 100% sure yet. Yeah, we'll call it good on this one. Like, subscribe, hit me down in the comments if you got any questions, comments, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.